newcomer networking. So take it away, Belinda.
Thank you, Lisa. So this is actually going to be some good information, not just for our newcomers, which I'm so glad that we have so many newcomers to the training, but for the old timers as well. And to let you know, I'm going to give you a little presentation on Clean Air Act in general, and then we're going to go in and play a game on Section 507, because that'll be much more fun. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen. And okay. And let's see if we get this up here, and have we started the slide presentation, hopefully?
Yes, you have.
Yep, we can see it.
Okay, now I just need to move this because I can't click forward on the slide. All right. So as I said, this is good for both the newcomers and the old timers. And the first thing I want to do is I want to share with you a really nice video presentation that was put together that illustrates that if we didn't have the Clean Air Act, what some of our cities would look like now. So this is just 1 minute and 45 seconds. And so just sit back and watch for a few moments. So as we see what could happen to our air, I want us to look back and see where we have come with 50 years of the Clean Air Act. And in doing that, I first want us to look back to the late 60s, early 70s, when we didn't have the Clean Air Act. And, you know, we consider the good old days. Sometimes our lens doesn't quite remember how things were in the past. So there was a fabulous EPA photography project called Documerica that looked across the country at how things really were in the 70s. Now, if we think back to pollution in the past, one of the images that comes to mind is the Cuyahoga River in Ohio on fire, which happened several times. This picture is from 1952. So we do remember that there were some pollution issues, but there were also some interesting things, like again along the Cuyahoga River, this was considered a great erosion prevention project. They secured junked vehicles to the bank of the river. Not what we would choose to do now. And I know Ohio always gets picked on. I'm sure Dan is just sitting there in Ohio going, why me? But one more. Let's take a nice look at Cleveland from 1973. And you can just see the air pollution. Actually, you can almost feel it from looking at this image. But it wasn't just the big cities. America had air pollution problems across the country. We have pictures here from New Orleans, and then trying to see Mount Rainier with the smokestacks of Tacoma in front. So it didn't matter what size city, there were air pollution problems. Air pollution was not being regulated on a federal level. Actually, neither was water pollution at this time. So if we look at this picture, we see a haze over Pittsburgh. This is not just a poor quality old image. That haze is real. In fact, there's some very thick smoke in the midground. And at this time, Pittsburgh had the nickname of hell with the lid off, which is not a nickname anyone would want for their city. And as I mentioned, water pollution was not being regulated nationally either. This is 1969, the Potomac River, right near the Watergate, and the Georgetown Gap was putting raw sewage directly into the river. We also saw at this time waste issues. This is an illegal dumping area that was right off the New Jersey Turnpike, and obviously we're looking at New York City and the Twin Towers. The air pollution wasn't just in the largest cities. Here's some pictures from North Birmingham, Alabama, and the pollution from the plants there would get so bad that in the afternoon, they said it would turn from daytime to where you thought it was night because the smoke was so thick. And this gentleman walking along can't even see across the yards. It actually reminds me right now, any of us in the West who are being impacted by forest fire smoke blowing in, and we walk out on days that have this type of smoke impact, and it's just horrible, and we can't believe it. And so it's very hard to look at this and think about that this is what these people were living with every single day. And this, you might have a hard time recognizing it, but it's a picture of New York City. And in 1965, they studied the air quality in New York City and found that breathing in New York City was equal to smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day. And that's if you were a non-smoker. This image just portrays the smoke that was billowing out of the stacks. Now, it would really shock us right now as we think back, and this was actually controlling waste at the time. They were taking used car batteries and burning them. It was the waste disposal method that was acceptable at the time. And when I see this image, especially with the car, the little house, West Virginia, and the huge cooling towers behind it, this gives a picture of where we actually were in the 1970s. So now we actually came from heavy air pollution to clearer skies now. And that is thanks to the Clean Air Act. So as in that first video, we can see where we would end up going if we didn't have the Clean Air Act. It's also helpful to remember where the Clean Air Act has brought us from. And I want to emphasize again, it wasn't just large cities. I recently had some information I was putting out. This is a small town in eastern Idaho called Pocatello, and it actually used to be nicknamed Smokatello. You can see the picture from the late 60s. There were several large plants, and they would just blanket the valley with pollution. And there's a 1969 article where they were getting used to reporting how many cattle were dying in the valley from fluorosis, from the pollution from these plants. And they asked with all seriousness, how long before the people in the valley start dying? Well, fast forward to today, and here is the Chamber of Commerce view of Pocatello. And now people think back, oh yeah, we did used to have the nickname Smokatello. Or if they're fairly new to the area, really? They called this town Smokatello? But thanks to the Clean Air Act, we can see how far we've been able to come. So now I want to go over specifically Section 507 of the Clean Air Act. And that's the section that's created all of our small business environmental assistance programs. And in order to do that, we are going to play a game because it's more fun to play a game. So on your phone, grab your phone and just on your browser, go to kahoot.it. There's nothing to download. You don't need to have an app. So this is nice and simple. Just pull that kahoot.it up on your browser, and then I am going to get us started, and we will have a pin. And that. Okay, here is the pin. Now, the way this is going to work is you're going to put the pin in on your phone. Please type in your name first and last, and then we will get started, and it's going to be very fast. So just roll along with it. It will also be kept open so that there's, you know, if you didn't get in, we'll kind of have a first starter question, and then we'll just keep going. And I'll just give us just a few seconds to get in a good number, and then we will start. Also, you'll answer on your phone, and you will see the questions and all the answer choices on this presentation screen. So let's get started and see how we have. Section 507 of the Clean Air Act starting. Okay, there will be 22 questions. EPA's guidance for Section 507 of the Clean Air Act came out when? So you can see the answers here, and then answer, and guess what? It's fast. It only gives you 20 seconds. So most people got their answers in. And we came out with December 1990 was the most popular answer, but that's when the section, that's when the 1990 amendments came out. This guidance actually came out in January of 1992. So you see, you get to answer, but you got to answer pretty quick because some of you didn't have enough time to get your answer in. And then we're going to see how well you do. And you're going to get ranked not only on if you got the correct answer, but how fast you do. So here we go. Section 507 of the Clean Air Act either encourages small business assistance or requires small business assistance. And you see the timer counting down. You have 8 seconds left to get your answer in. All right, and yes, the majority of people got that it requires to us to have small business assistance in Section 507. Okay, this 1992 guidance, EPA wanted states to follow a prescribed method or be as innovative as possible. Ah, this is fascinating. So it's, as you can see, people thought 50-50, which one it was. Actually, EPA said they want our programs to be as innovative as possible. Those are the exact words that they used. We have different circumstances in our different states, and we are expected to have programs that are as different as our states are. And obviously, we, through the national SBEAP, get to share all the things that we're doing with each other. Okay, originally the acronym was SBEAP. What did SBEAP stand for? Yay! You guys did great. Small Business Assistance Program. Okay, let's see real quick. Oh, Lisa is in the lead. Paula is close behind in second, followed by Tony, Donovan, and Jennifer. Let's see the next question. Okay, it was obviously changed to SBEAP. What is not the reason that the acronym was changed to SBEAP? Oh, very interesting. The reason it was not changed was that beep was not a better memory device. Actually, the type of assistance was unclear to many people. Some small businesses thought that it was a loan program, and the E clarified that it was an environmental assistance. Okay, true or false questions. The guidance recommendations for disseminating information include mailing packets. Oh, everyone got their answers in quick here. Yes, that is true. Mailing information was recommended. Let's look at a few more. It recommends creating a website. Oh, you guys are answering fast now. Look at that. Okay. 35 of you said true, but actually it's false. When this guidance came out, we actually didn't really have the web yet. Does it recommend including or creating public service announcements? Oh, wow. Everyone's got their answers in, and there's still 8 seconds to go. Okay, let's see where we came out. And yes, 46 out to 9. The answer is true. Public service announcements were one of the ways that it was said that we should disseminate information. I'm going to hold off on the scores. We're going to get through a few more true false, and we're going to see how we're doing. Did it include creating an app? Oh, you guys are getting in your answers so fast. Few more seconds. False. Okay, yes. Our cell phone technology was not at the point of apps. We had moved from the bag phones to the brick phones at that time. And a toll-free hotline was one of the recommendations. Okay. 6 seconds left. You guys are getting faster too, which is just great. And yes, a toll-free hotline was recommended. And what I really want you to see from here is that you look back to what they were recommending as the methods for us to get information out to small businesses. And we've actually seen quite a change over the last 30 years. So the fact that in the last 6 months, we've had a very rapid change in technology and what's happening during this pandemic. This is how our programs are to be. We're supposed to be innovative, and we're supposed to come up with what's the next new technology, what's the next best way to share information with small businesses. Okay, let's see how we are. Oh, Tony has taken the lead, followed by Derek from Kentucky. Nee is in third. Marcia and Lisa. All right, next question. Which is not a required part of the SBEAP program? Make sure you see the not. This one's taking a little more thought to get your answers in. 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, a few people didn't make it in time. Yes, most people got this right. A state environmental agency is not required. Many programs are located in their state environmental agency, and sometimes if they're located elsewhere, like in a small business development center, the ombudsman's in the state environmental agency, but it doesn't have to be that way, and it's not always that way. For example, some states have it in the Commerce Department. Okay. The 507 SB program requires notifying businesses of their rights, notifying businesses of their obligations, both or neither. I see the answers are coming a little slower. Will everyone make it in time? Almost. Both. Yes. Most of you got this correct. Our programs are supposed to notify business both of their rights and of their obligations. Let's see how that scoreboard's going. Oh, look at that. Derek, you've dropped down just a little bit. And Tony, Nee, Marcia, Lisa, and Derek. Next question. True or false? The initial guidance stated that pollution prevention cannot be used as a component of the program. Is this true or is it false? All right, almost everyone's in on their answers. False. Correct. In fact, pollution prevention is specifically mentioned that it should be a component of the small business environmental assistance programs. Let's see. Oh, Tony keeps the lead, but Marcia has moved up. Okay. Does the initial guidance encourage trade associations to establish circuit riders to assist with generic problems? Okay. Close on the answers. It is true, but we have a little bit of an issue that I will hit on the very last question with language. So the question is, what is a circuit rider? Pick the correct answer. Oh, I can tell everyone's scratching their heads. Those answers are coming in really slowly.
Just a heads up, Belinda, we have about 5 minutes. If you want to leave some time for questions. I don't
Okay.
see any questions have come in so far, but just a
Okay.
heads up.
Well, most of you thought it had to do with electricity, but actually the answer is a Methodist minister on horseback. So this speaks to that plain language, and that maybe we should use colloquialisms when we develop guidance or materials. Okay, we're on question 16. A small business eligible for assistance is defined as? Okay, actually all of those answers are correct. And yes, I know the yellow and the green look like they don't make sense together, but it's laid out in that guidance document, which I'll show you at the end really quick. So some more true false questions. Will EPA assist states in developing their SBEAP program? Yes, true. Will EPA issue technical guidance for states to use? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Yes, also true. Will EPA include guidance on alternative control technologies? Yes, true as well. Will EPA include guidance on pollution prevention? I bet we're all going to get this one right after that last question a few back. Yes, also true. Okay, let's see where we stand. Tony, you have been passed by Nee. Let's see. Oh, and Rhonda Wright is on the board with Mark Messerschmidt and Donovan. Our board is changing up. Okay. What about guidance from EPA on accidental release? Can we expect that type of guidance? Five, four, three, two, one. And yes, that's also listed in the guidance. So there's a lot of information that we can expect that EPA is going to be working with us and helping to provide to us. And now, oh, okay, it is really close, Tony and Nee. Nee is on top. Last question. Assistance documents are to be written to be understandable for lay people. Does the guidance tell us that? Yes, it does. And that's one of the things that we can see with using terminology such as the circuit rider that is not familiar to probably any of us. And just a little interest on, oh, let's see if I can't quite get to my, can't get to all my tabs. So I'll just zoom back here. And I want you to just take a look at the front page of that document done in typewriter. And obviously, none of us are using a typewriter anymore. So we can just take this whole COVID pandemic as an opportunity to expand the ways in which we are communicating. All right, so does anyone have any questions in our final moment?
It looks like so far we haven't gotten any questions. We just have a few comments. That was a very powerful video. People really liked that. And Donovan also wanted to add that Chattanooga, Tennessee used to have air quality so poor that nylon hose would dissolve off of women's legs. So that's an interesting tidbit.
And Donovan, my father just had a new house built in one of these neo-traditional neighborhoods on a brownfield site in Chattanooga, right on the river area.
Very interesting.
Oh, I should have included that.
Well, thank you very much, Belinda. That was a great session, very informative.
Thank you, Lisa.
All right. So that concludes our kind of formal part of our sessions today, but we do have kind of a networking social time planned for you. If you did sign up for that, you should get a separate link. It's not going to be part of this webinar. It'll be a meeting so that we can all interact and everything. So take a look at your email for that, and as well as the dance card will be included in there, and hopefully we see you there, and if not, hopefully you can join us again tomorrow. So thank you very much, everybody, for attending.
Thank you.